If you watch the finale of Arcane and still feel like you need answers to everything you saw, this is the right place. Get ready to dive into an emotional analysis where every detail matters, and the sacrifices, choices, and reunions make us question what it truly means to be human. Let's unravel the mysteries and the profound messages of this unforgettable ending together. Are you ready? Let's begin. The third act thrust us directly into a whirlwind of emotions. Jace, Echo, and Heimerdinger were sucked into an anomaly that took them to parallel realities, worlds that exposed not only different possible futures, but also the limits of their own beliefs and choices. These realities were not mere visions. They were reflections of everything they could have been or lost. Jace was confronted with an apocalyptic vision where Victor had achieved what he called the glorious evolution. But this progress came at a terrible cost. Piltover lay in ruins, and humanity had been reduced to fragments of a collective mind, lacking identity, emotions, or a soul. This vision struck Jace hard, making him realize that his pursuit of technological advancement could destroy everything that makes the world beautiful. This revelation reignited an almost unshakable resolve in him to fight, though not without first pushing him to the brink of despair. Meanwhile, Echo and Heimerdinger found themselves in a completely different world. A utopia without Hextech, where Piltover and Zaun coexisted peacefully. But this peace did not come without cost. In this world, Vi did not survive the attack that marked the beginning of so many events. Without her, Jace never had the impetus to develop Hextech, and history took a different course. Even more striking was seeing that in this universe, Silco and Vander were reconciled, leading Zaun with stability. Powder, free of the traumas that turned her into Jinx, grew up happy, simply being herself. Yet something felt out of place. As perfect as this world seemed, there was an undeniable sense of emptiness. Something essential was missing. Heimerdinger, after spending 1,000 days in this dimension, understood what Echo soon realized. Even a perfect world cannot replace the need to face reality. Finding fragments of the blue gem was the catalyst for Echo to decide to return and fight for his universe. This led to the most painful moment. Heimerdinger chose to sacrifice his presence in this perfect world to ensure that Echo could save his reality. His farewell was one of the series' saddest and most poignant moments, leaving viewers in tears. Back in the original timeline, Echo became the unlikely hero. His revolutionary device, capable of rewinding time by 4 seconds, was the key to stopping Victor's destructive advance. But what truly stole the scene was his reunion with Jinx. He knew the darkness she was submerged in was nearly inescapable, but he also knew there was still a spark of powder within her. Driven by genuine affection for the girl she once was, Echo risked everything to reach her, and he succeeded. For the first time in a long while, Jinx hesitated in the face of darkness, and that hesitation was enough for her to choose to fight for good. Then came the heartbreaking climax. Jinx, burdened with the traumas and scars of an entire life, chose to sacrifice her own existence to ensure that Vi could live. This was, without a doubt, one of the most emotional scenes in the entire series. Now, a question lingers: did Jinx truly die? Many fans believe she survived, and theories are circulating everywhere. But will this ever be confirmed? Or will this mystery remain forever? At the same time, Jace had the chance to end Victor once and for all. But in a moment that redefined the meaning of redemption, he chose dialogue. He reminded Victor of what truly mattered: the imperfections, weaknesses, and limitations that make us human. This conversation was not just a turning point for Victor, but also for Jace. It was as if the two friends had gone back in time, reclaiming the essence of their friendship. In the end, it was beautiful to see how everything began with Jace and Victor and ended with them as well. Their joint sacrifice in destroying the crystal that fueled the chaos was the series' peak, a moment of forgiveness and redemption that showed that even in the darkest depths, there can be light. Another unforgettable moment was Ambessa's arc leading an army under Victor's collective mind control. She faced the horrors of war while her daughter, Mel, awakened to power she never imagined she had. Mel faced LeBlanc in a confrontation that proved her strength, but Ambessa's sacrifice was inevitable. In her final moments, in her daughter's arms, she recognized Mel as a true warrior, marking one of the most emotional moments of the season. And of course, we can't forget Singed. Amid the chaos and destruction, he achieved what he most desired, bringing his daughter Oriana back to life. This act was both a triumph and a warning about how far he was willing to go for science and paternal love. Oriana's resurrection, even in a devastated world, was a rare glimpse of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest situations, miracles can happen. In the end, the impact of the war brought something unexpected: unity. For the first time, Piltover and Zaun began working together, and the scene of Sevica in the council was a powerful symbol of reconciliation and hope. In my opinion, this season of Arcane managed to surpass the first one in a truly surprising way. Despite some minor flaws, the storyline was so well developed that any missteps were overshadowed by the emotional impact and the captivating twists. It was a powerful conclusion to the story so far, delivering moments that made us smile, cry, and reflect on the sacrifices the characters had to make. Jinx's death, for instance, made perfect sense within the narrative. Even though my heart wished she had survived, her sacrifice carried an emotional weight that resonated throughout the story. It was a tragic farewell, but deeply meaningful. She gave up her own life so that Vi could continue, solidifying the central theme of the season: redemption and sibling love, even in the face of the greatest pain. Another highlight was Echo's episode in an alternate universe. In my opinion, this was the best episode of the entire season, perhaps even of the whole series. It was here that we got a glimpse of a Powder unburdened by the traumas that turned her into Jinx. Of course, she still bore the pain of losing Vi, but her essence remained intact, free from the shadows of madness that consumed her in our reality. It was impossible not to feel moved seeing Echo fall in love with this pure side of her. The moment they were together, though brief, was so full of hope that it broke our hearts when we realized he knew he would have to leave this version of her behind. I read a quote that perfectly defines the impact of this episode. Echo saved the world, but destroyed his own. And that's exactly what we saw. He did what was necessary to ensure his reality had a chance to survive. But in returning, he lost that version of Powder who made him believe something better was possible. Jinx didn't survive for him to reignite that spark of Powder within her, leaving an emptiness that reflects the personal cost of being a hero. This season was an emotional roller coaster, and even with the flaws that could be pointed out, it was a worthy conclusion to the arcs we've followed so far. Still, there remains a desire to see more, to explore other possibilities, and perhaps find new paths for such deep and layered characters. After all, Arcane isn't just a series. It's a masterpiece that touches our emotions and makes us think about what it truly means to be human. With a massive budget of $250 million, Arcane not only raised the standards of animation, but also delivered a narrative that will be remembered for decades. Despite some noticeable absences, the finale struck a perfect balance between closure and mystery, leaving room for new stories. And with rumors that Loxus will be the focus of the next season, the possibilities seem endless. And you? What did you think of this finale? Could Jinx still be alive? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's theorize together about what's to come. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any updates. Until the next video,